Hey guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is 4:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. So today I want to talk about a dilemma I'm facing. It's not really a dilemma anymore. This afternoon at 5 o'clock in my little town here, there's going to be a rally for our small police department. Now, I moved. I grew up in this town. I moved to the town next door, graduated in the town next door. I moved back here. So I've pretty much been a lifelong resident of this town. My father was a forest firefighter and the head park ranger in this town. He had. I thought about all this morning after I saw this advertisement for this rally this afternoon. My father was good friends with the police chief, and mostly all the police back when he was alive back in the 70s. Since I've moved back here in my last 15 years, last 20 years, I've moved back here. Um, the police have seen me around town, and I walk and I ride my bike, so I've had a chance to talk to them, and I've told them of my past, my heroin addiction, crack cocaine addiction. And I got to tell you, the town, when I lived in the town next door to here, the police got to know me there in a very different way. Uh, in the town next door, I lived there from when I was 14 till I was 30 something. And those were the years I used drugs. And the police, I did not have a good rapport with the police then. They were very angry because they could never catch me with the drugs or doing whatever I was doing. I was, not to say I was wrong, no doubt, but I had a very different rapport. The police there made it known that they wanted to take me down. They wanted me in jail. When I moved here, and the police in this town found out about my subsequent recovery, my art, moving into the art field, selling artwork, my physical fitness regimen and activity, and I've got nothing but respect from the police in this town. I hit a car going about 40 miles an hour on my mountain bike about 8 years ago, and I had to go to the hospital. Flew over the car, flew over the guardrails, and the police uh, picked me up. They watched over my bike. I've had nothing but good rapport with the police here. So when I saw this initially, I thought about all the police that have helped me. And then I thought about the reality of the situation. First of all, at that rally, it's going to be full of Trump supporters and people that I generally disagree with, and people that generally refuse to see the situation in America right now, that refuse to acknowledge the blatant racism that's going on, the people that blame everything on black people and people of color and Muslims. And hey, maybe I'm stereotyping, but I all of a sudden I realized that a good portion, if 90% of those people at that rally are probably going to be those people. So I'm conflicted. So I did some investigating here, as much as I could from my home computer and everything, all the resources I have here at home. I wanted to find out if there was any reports, anything filed on racism in this town against these police officers in my little town here. There's probably about maybe a total of 8 or 10 cops total. I could find nothing. Besides for the fact that all I could find was the opposite, where the people of the town had been arrested for racist acts. But I could find nothing against the police, nothing. And I looked hard. I looked in the state records and all the public records available. So I'm still thinking about this. Should I support my little town police here that I've known my whole life, that have been good to me? Um, Bottom line, I don't think I can't go to this rally. Um, Even though this little town here, these are, from everything I could find, they're good cops. Um, there's a change going on in the country right now for an overhaul of law enforcement, and that's not necessarily saying that there's all bad cops, but it's saying that we should have more people dealing with drug addiction, more people, more social type work. Um, Change is needed, even in good police departments. Um, for drug addicts like me, being forced into rehab would be a better solution than jail. In jail, and that's where I would end up if these changes weren't made. I'm just talking about me. I've been clean for 14 years, but so I do see the need for change. So it's taken some long, hard thinking this morning. Because, like I said, I've got nothing but good interaction, and I've seen absolutely nothing. I could find, even looking as hard as I can find no reports of the police in this town acting in a manner unprofessional. But I guess it's more than that, really. Um, if I went to that rally, I'd be saying that I'd be ignoring I'd be ignoring the need for change in the entire country. And it's I don't know if you guys can understand what I'm saying, because in a way I empathize for the good policemen that think like that are open minded, that think like I do, that don't judge people or treat people differently because of their color. It's a tough call, but at the end of the day, I'm going to have to. I can't go to that rally. So it was a tough call today. I'm sure this is probably going on all across the country. It's more in small towns, I'd imagine. One thing I want to note that did bother me, not bother me, I used to look at it as a good thing. I've noticed in the past, in the newspaper, they had reports, the weekly police reports of police, who they arrested, who they investigated each week. And for years in our little local newspaper, I would see the majority of people that they pulled over for traffic violations were from out of town. I remember seeing this a lot. And it made me feel privileged, because there were times when I drove by the police without a seatbelt on, kind of rolled the stop sign. And I'm pretty sure that my local police saw me, that they let me, they looked the other way. And that used to be something that I kind of, it's embarrassing to say, but I kind of liked, I looked at it as a plus. Plus the fact that there's bigger cities all around here. So, and being from a drug background, I know that people looking to nefarious thoughts will travel through from one city to the other, looking for to steal or rob. I know because the people I used to hang with did this. So this made me, the fact that the police used to seem to target people out of town more used to make me feel safe and privileged. And it's embarrassing to say that. Like I said, you guys know I'm going to say the truth on here, and I'm going to get called out for it. It's not how I think now. I look at that now, and I do remember a lot of Spanish sounding names in those reports. So did the police target these people because it was an out of town car? Did they target these cars because they had a different color skin driver? It's a good possibility. Um, and I hate to say this, but it worked to my advantage back then. But I think the thing we have to think about now is, again, when we say when one person loses justice, lose their freedom, we all lose it. And my thinking has changed from 20 years ago a lot. Um, the way I look at it now is that could be me driving through another town where I don't look like I fit in and I get pulled over. Just because it works to my advantage or my privilege here, it could be me, it could be my family somewhere else. It can and will be someday. So again, you have to keep in mind that when there's injustice, when there's this prejudice against one section of society, it's against all of us. It is, or it will be, or it can be. And so yeah, I'm not going to the rally today. Should I protest? Should I go down with a Black Lives Matter sign? I'm actually thinking about it. It might be a tough day to make up my mind. The rally's at 5 p.m. today, Saturday, so we'll let you know how it goes. All right, you guys have a good Saturday.